Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast with your hosts Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate. We are three guys who have one thing in common, a love of rock and roll. Our goal is to talk about all things rock. We hope you find this show intriguing, funny, and occasionally highly opinionated. Enjoy! Hey folks, as you will see in a few minutes, I am not on tonight's episode because as the guys are recording this, I am at band practice. Hillbilly country band practice, because those bastards are going to make fun of me, so we'll just get that out of the way now. Anyway, we went to see Wofgang Van Halen's band Mammoth WVH a couple of nights ago in Louisville at the Mercury Ballroom, and it's the best show I've seen all year. Well, it's the only show no, that's not true. It's not the only show I've seen all year. But anyway, it is the best show I've seen all year. If you get the opportunity to go see Wolfgang's band, go see it. Those guys are tight. The music is good. You can't go wrong. Wolf is a funny fella, and he is so funny, he's got something to say to you now.
And also, I want to settle one thing that I see a lot on social media is people always ask, Wolf, what's the deal with the rug? What is there any meaning to the rug? No. It's just a rug. Honestly, all we needed is just to mark up where the keyboard and my pedal board are, and it's just easier to do it. So, there you have it. Tell Facebook.
Welcome back to the Ages of Rock podcast. This is episode number 278. We are doing a Mammoth show review that we went to last night. So you will notice, if you're watching this or even listening, you will notice that Alan is not here. Actually,
you won't know if you're not watching because he never says anything.
That's true. Alan has country band practice tonight, so we can make fun of him for that. But banjos. He hears banjos. I don't know why. Whatever. Anyway, so we got our buddies. Exactly. We got our buddies David, Cathey, and Bryan Harris with us, who did the takeover show back a couple of months, about a month or so ago. Right. And Dennis, of course, is here. So we are going to have a little discussion about our trip last night to Louisville, Kentucky, the home of bourbon, and have a chat about the Mammoth show, which
is Alan going to put something into this, or did he send you anything?
Alan's not putting anything into this.
I didn't know if he was going to. Well, I'm going to just talk for him. Then he had a great time.
I have no idea. I'm gonna package this up and send it to Mr. Tate later, and he can do with it whatever the hell he wants.
Exactly.
So, first out, I got a shout out to our buddy Dave here, who I think David passed out 375 of the 5 cards that I brought for the Ages of Rock podcast. I felt like every time I walked there, I'm the only one that brought business cards just to hand out to people.
I should have brought stickers.
We should have brought stickers. All kinds of. And every time I like turned around, someone was like, "Give me a card." I'm like, "Dude!" So I gave out like 3 each because I was rationing them. I only had like 12 cards, but I came home with 4, so we didn't give out that many as I thought. But it was kind of cool. So let's see. It was the venue was the Mercury Ballroom in Louisville, Kentucky, on 4th Street. It holds 900 people.
Yep.
Said it was supposed to be sold out. Alan, Dennis, and I went to see Stryper there couple years ago, 3-4 years ago, something like that.
It seemed more crowded to me.
It seemed more crowded then
with Stryper.
Stryper did. Yeah, I thought it was a little bit too
full house.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, they may have sold 900 tickets.
Somebody said outside when we were standing out there and getting ready to go in, when we were walking back from walking down to 4th Street Live, coming back. Somebody had asked, was there tickets available or was it sold out? And the girl at the counter, or one of the girls taking cards, she said that there were still tickets available.
Oh, okay.
So it may have not been sold out.
It
was still a good crowd. It was a good crowd.
Yeah. I mean,
the energetic crowd.
Yes.
The crowd were there for him for sure. I mean, it was definitely that kind of crowd. So It was cool.
Good venue too. I like that venue.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
I think it's an intimate area. The sound is really good. Go ahead, Dave.
We have to say that you, me, and Bill were left to stand all night when this one over here chickened out and got him a seat upstairs.
No, he didn't chicken out. He
Actually,
just
I think he was the smartest one of the bunch, to be
He
perfectly
upgraded, but
honest.
didn't tell us.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
you guys weren't there. You guys went to pound a couple back, and I got the info, and
Yeah.
Oh, so it happened right then? I didn't know
I
that.
thought you did that beforehand.
No.
no.
He had said
So we
that.
were in line. Yeah, they had a guy came walking around telling everybody that they had limited balcony seating on the second floor. So if we wanted it, that once we got inside, make a sharp right, go up the stairs, to the top of the stairs, there'd be someone there to help you out. And so I ended up with a seat in the second row, dead center.
That's cool.
That's good.
Nice.
That's good.
And of course, that doubled the price of the overall ticket. But
Oh, okay.
But still, you're
so-
cheaper than a regular ticket for anybody else,
Yeah.
to be honest.
yeah. So, but yeah, with some health stuff and everything, I felt I really enjoyed the show. I was able, if I'd have stood on my feet all day, all
Right.
watching that show, I'd have been miserable. I just
Yeah.
can't do that anymore.
Yeah, my
It was
back
it was tough,
killing me.
man. Yeah. Yeah. I wore tennis shoes and I was going to wear my Vans, and I'm glad I wore the. I'm like, if I have to stand there for like 3 hours, I'm just going to kill my
Vans and
feet.
Converse look cool, but they hurt.
Yeah,
like
so
motherfuckers.
I opted for New Balance, old man
That's what
shoes, I guess. But whatever. But
Well,
it was cool.
Yeah.
So-
Another thing about this venue and this concert, before we get into the actual concert, us old guys loved it because I was not expecting, it's a 2-hour drive for us to get home. Louisville is an hour ahead. I figured best chance we would get home by 1 o'clock in the morning, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning, my time, having to go to work at 5 o'clock. Well, once we got into the venue, we noticed that there really wasn't anything set up except for the Mammoth show. And basically they started at 8:30 with no opener. So us boys were on the road and I was home almost 10:45 my time. And I loved that for today. I was still tired and I would have been hurting a lot worse today if it would have been that 2 o'clock shit, Please, everybody start concerts earlier. Why not?
Well, the funny thing is they have to think about it because, back in the day when we were going to those shows, starting a show at 9 o'clock didn't matter. But now that we're all 50 plus,
Have jobs.
starting a show at 10, a headliner coming on in a club at like 10, that's a bitch.
Yeah.
Back in
I'm
my usually
20s,
in bed.
Yeah, back in my 20s in the clubs in Hollywood and stuff,
Nothing.
the headliner wouldn't even get on stage till 10 or 11 at night.
Right.
That's how it was, and you had usually 2 or 3 bands before them, and I understand why they do it, give people a chance to get off work and get down there and stuff, but I don't see the need to have an opening, a local band or 2 opening, it just something like that. If it was if it was a club, unrecorded or unsigned artist or whatever, yeah, throw 3 or 4 bands out there. But Mammoth didn't need anybody.
No, they didn't.
No, it was a great show. Actually, I bet you those, 4 guys or 5 guys could have done something on their own. Well, 4 of them. I guess the 4 of them could have done something on their own before they even came out. But they seem to be pretty talented dudes. That's for sure. It was impressive.
Well,
Bryan, you want to go over the set list? Do you I saw that you posted a picture of it. Do you have it handy?
I don't have it handy.
I got it.
Hold on.
I got it on my phone here.
Yeah, I got it here for you. I mean, we could just run down. I'll just do a rundown if you want.
And it's basically the same. This set list has not
It's
really
the album.
changed. Yeah, it's basically
it's just in a
album.
different order. It's just in a
Right.
kind of a different order. So they did an intro. They did "Don't Back Down," "Horribly Right," "Mammoth," "Mr. Ed," "Resolve," "Talk and Walk," "Think It Over," "You're to Blame," "The Big Picture," "Circles," "Feel," "You'll Be the One," "Stone," and then they did encore. I'm not sure why they left for an encore because they walked off and turned and walked right back on. They weren't even off 5 minutes.
They were probably going to say, you know what? Let's see how early we could get this show over with.
Yeah, exactly. So they did obviously did Distance, and they did Epiphany, and
Right.
I mean, I wondered. I don't know about you guys. I was trying to figure out what song they would pick for the opener because I had not seen a set list.
No, Don't Back Down is your basically that was our first. Well, actually, I take that back. Distance was the first one really released in the video, but the video that they did with him Wolf playing all the instruments and kind of a tongue in cheek thing was Don't Back Down.
He's the producer and everything,
right? And that's just a really it's a rockin' tune. It gets people going. And, there's so many good songs on this album. Just pick one. I don't give a fuck.
Well, the one they picked ripped. I mean, it got the crowd going from the first note.
Yeah.
And he kept that energy going all night long.
Yeah, it was a great show.
I do notice that he doesn't do a lot of eye contact with the audience. He looks down a lot. I don't know if that's just being
he's improved. He's improved greatly from the early shows. I mean, he's not been a frontman before.
Right.
So he had more banter with the audience and everything that he has. He's learning it.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought he did a great job.
I do like the way too, just watching the show last night, being that, here is a guy who is, written and recorded every instrument, every vocal on that, and produced. He sits back. He doesn't try to take over. He lets the other guys have their leads. There's sometimes he's not singing at all. These other guys are doing the vocal.
Yep.
And they've got a really functioning family there. And I hope he continues with that band.
Yeah.
I hope he actually records with that band. I don't know if he'll do that. I don't know if it'll be like a Dave Grohl thing at the very beginning. He's going to just do everything himself. But he's got a great band that's going to help him back up and help him. He can write all of his stuff, but just lets these other guys, play these parts.
Yeah, that was one of the things I noticed was how tight that band was.
Yes.
They'd been together for years. They were really good. Every one of those guys was talented.
Like you said, Dennis, to me about the drummer. That guy was a beast.
I watched him almost the whole night.
He's a freaking animal, dude. I mean, just absolute, just machine. I mean, and just I watched all those guys. I think every one of them had their. I noticed the guy who was playing guitar kind of back in the background. They had that kind of showboaty kind of guy up front. Bass player's got a good
bass
stage
player
presence.
was got
a great stage presence. Looks good. Performs well. The guy in the back kind of just sat back there, but I watched him. He does a lot of the background vocals. So he actually some of the stuff when Wolfie, I know what was it in what was it, Circles or one of those songs where I thought it was usually him singing. He was actually singing those portions, and it was really good. And I like the way like I said, they brought the keyboard out. I like the way he'll sit back and play the keyboard for a little bit. And I just can't say enough good. It's just
and thankfully he has that rug because the spots were already
So for all of you that follow him on Facebook, somebody asked him or posted something about the rug and does the rug have any meaning? And he let us know, but he also let Facebook know yesterday that it's just a damn rug. It's like,
Yeah, well, that guy that posted that, he had all these different potential meanings behind it. It wasn't just like, well, what's with the rug? I mean, he had like a 50-line, thing. Well, he's like, no, we got it targeted rug.
I do a rug, and it's marked up. The rugs, I guess must be the design on the rug works with where they need to put his monitor and the keyboards. So it's like,
and you just can't help his humor goes through everything. It's like when he got up there, he plays a lot of hollow body guitars, a lot of Gibson 335s and stuff. But when he picked up the Wolfie, he kind of held it up. He goes,
Wolfie. The Wolfie.
It's like
Wolfie on Wolfie.
It's a great joke. It's a great joke.
Yeah, but, the other cool thing was I think we were chanting Wolfie, and he said that was the first time he'd heard that.
Yeah,
and we were the first.
You
could tell because he reacted to that.
That did that. He said, yeah.
Yeah, he could tell.
Yeah, you could. He was humble. I mean, when you think about who he is, he was a member of Van Halen. You know, you look who his father was and everything, but yet he was humble, and you could tell he really respected and enjoyed all the adoration and everything he was receiving at that show.
Exactly. Yeah. No, like I said, I really have no bad things to say. If you want me to get one negative for the night, God damn it, you're in Kentucky and there's a lot of big guys there. Bring more double X shirts with you, please.
Well, he told you why that was. He told you somebody. Why that was.
Oh, because they just been to the Guns N' Roses. I guess they didn't get.
No, they were waiting for their next shipment. The shipment hadn't arrived because that's what I said.
Shipment hadn't arrived.
Yeah,
I got you.
They were in the middle. They're in the middle of the week, and so they're.
We know somebody who got that shirt, but we won't say what his name is.
Yeah, we will.
Bryan. He was a guy in front of us, but I did get this shirt, so that's good.
By the way,
they were,
he not only got the shirt, and then he goes, "Oh, I'm going to my seat upstairs," and we were all like, "What seat upstairs?" So we found out not only did he get the last double X shirt, then he told us, "Oh, by the way, I'm going to go sit down upstairs in the lounge while you guys all stand down here with the peons."
Yeah, we met some good people down there too.
We did.
Yes, we did.
So let's see, who do we meet? We meet Brandon, right? Brandon and his mom, his girlfriend.
I don't know.
Or wife. We're in trouble. I don't know.
We met some people.
You just got Brandon in trouble.
She was with child too, carrying child.
Yeah. So whoever Brandon's with is carrying a child. That's who we saw.
Right. And we saw a couple at the restaurant too. They were out of Missouri.
Yeah.
And they came all the way from Missouri.
Yep.
There were people. I mean, there were people there from Wisconsin.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Really? Wow.
Over. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We met Perry Creason. I don't know if you guys remember Perry. He was the guy that was standing there that does videos.
So I noticed he
catch Perry on
the whole thing.
Yeah, on his YouTube channel.
Oh, him yelling in the back of his phone.
Yeah. Him and Alan were really happy with you yelling. Both of them, I could tell. Yeah.
Hey, Alan, you did a nice job filming for Facebook Live of the bar.
No, that was me that did that.
No, that's right. Was you? I thought.
Well, when I first started, I was going to try to get to the beginning of the thing. So during the intro part, I'm sitting there going, and I'm looking, I'm like going, why am I not seeing the stage on my phone? And I had the rear camera going, so I got over my head and it's doing the bar. And then you see me going like this, trying to get rid of it, and then I caught it. So I did get the very beginning of it.
So the only other negative thing I had was people filming like in front of us. There was a guy in front of us. It was a kind of a big guy, tall anyway, and he just had his phone up almost for a while, and I'm like, dude, you got to put that down. All I could see, I'm like dodging, and David and I are back there trying to figure out how to get to see, and meanwhile Bryan's sitting upstairs. Anyway, so the rest of us are.
I had nothing in front of me. I had a clear shot at the stage.
Mute him.
We can't give him any shit though, because he made sure took care of
David, when you were sitting up there, was you able to see that curtained off area over to your left in the corner that were Valerie and Bryan? Did I say that? Is that Bryan?
I wasn't. I was watching the show. When I got there, I wondered if she would be up there.
She was.
Yeah.
There was a
I don't
partition curtained off area too. If you were sitting there looking at the stage, it kind of goes back along the stage. It would be on the left hand side.
Yeah, I mean, she would have. She would have been right in my view, but I
don't think he probably could have seen it because that speaker that was hanging there.
Right. Yeah.
She was behind a speaker, so if you may not have been able to see it, even if she would have been there, but she was there, so we did see her. I took a picture of her, but she looks like a mirage.
That's what mine. I tried to get a bunch of different pictures. I think I got one that I can kind of see her in it, so it's
like an outline.
Yeah,
that's all I can see is an outline. So
a silhouette.
But it was good.
But yeah, it was. Like I said, and everything that they played off the record, well, with
even the ones he did with the acoustic guitar were great. And then Distance, like me and you said, it's one of those.
Yeah, I'll tell you what,
that was emotional. Yes.
Yeah. I don't think there was a dry eye there. I know there wasn't on my side.
I I didn't lose it, but it was very.
No, I got
emotional.
I got a little tear there, but
no, you didn't get a little tear, dude. You took your glasses off and were wiping your eyes off with your hands. What are you talking
Pull
about?
your
it was
shirt up and
sweat.
dry
It was
them.
sweat at that point. But no, it was. I tell you what, if you want to hear that album played in its entirety, basically, and sound just like the record, I mean, it's.
So what was the Japanese song that he did? Because he said
it was I got it right here. It was Talk and Walk. That's not on the
that
one. And you know what? It's
a
probably
great
my least favorite of the bunch. But maybe it's because I haven't heard it very many times. Yeah, I've only heard it
was
like
pretty
twice.
good. I thought it was catchy.
Well, what was everybody's favorite song of the night?
Stone was mine. Turn to Stone. I love that song. Or I always call it Turn to Stone, but it's Stone.
I like Circles.
Circles is a good song too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like Circles and I like Stone, and I really like Mr. Ed. I just think that's a good lead off on the record. And I thought they would really thought they'd play that first, just because that would be people would be familiar with that, because you know, like most things after the record gets over, you know, and it would have been a good opener. And then they didn't lead with that. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, well, this is my favorite song, but concert live wise, Don't Back Down. I love that song anyway, and it was great live.
Yeah, and Horribly Right. You know, I mean, like I said, they're just take a pick. You know, you don't have to really. But yeah, just to see him play Stone, I do like that, because it's just it's got a little bit of a haunting, you know, kind of sound to it and everything. But I know, like I said, props to. I don't know if that's a house system or if that's a traveling system.
It was his system, his system.
Wow, I'm gonna say, because it was fantastic. I mean, they got that shit dialed in good. Yeah. I mean, it didn't even take that one or two songs to get dialed in. It was dialed in. Period.
I'd like to have had his vocals a little higher. I think his vocals were a little muddy at times. It would have been they could have tweaked out a little bit.
That could have been the room itself.
I thought they were great upstairs, so it could be the sound.
And I thought about that too. I almost texted you and asked you what the sound was like upstairs.
It was great.
Because they were flying those speakers, and so you would have been actually directly in those speaker radius. You know, the ones that were flying, because there wasn't any on the floor. Where there, I don't think there's.
No, it was open.
So that's maybe where we were getting a little bit of a muddy, kind of a mid-range sound. But that was
his vocals are so pure and not forced. I mean, I never, you know, when he was in Van Halen and all that stuff, I never thought about him as, you know, vocally, but record, and then last night, he's just a great singer.
Well, you know, go ahead.
Which is very ironic considering Michael Anthony.
Yeah.
Who has a great voice as a bass player, you know, at all, you know, period. But as a bass player, you know, that's kind of very ironic.
There was a lot of talk and a lot of controversy, though, when Van Halen went out with Wolfie. And they were doing these tours, and then they were playing these songs, and all of a sudden it's like you could almost hear Michael Anthony in the thing. They're like, and then people are like, well, they're using backing tapes. They're using these backing, you know. But the thing was, it was Wolfie. We didn't just realize that he had a really great voice and he was tearing it up, you know. And what little Ed could sing, Wolfie was just fucking making it up. I mean, he was carrying the load. You know, the boy was doing a lot more than we thought he was doing back then. You know.
Yeah.
And,
honestly, I remember when he took over for Michael Anthony, because I was Van Halen fan from the beginning, and I was actually a little pissed.
Right.
I mean, I understand all the politics and stuff, and he is a Van Halen, so I totally got with him now on his own and everything. I'm totally over all that. I mean, that was just me being a diehard Van Halen fan and loving Michael Anthony, and now I'm sorry I didn't hate the guy, but it was like, I don't like this, but yeah.
It's kind of almost kind of like Cheap Trick, right? So,
having
Bunny Carlos leaves and whatever, and then they fill it with Dak Nelson. Yeah, so it's like
he's doing a great job. He's doing a fantastic
job.
Yeah.
Why not? Keep it in the family.
It's just like you want to see him original, but it's. And it's the thing, we talked about this, maybe it was on the drive up or while we were eating. I don't remember exactly when, but we were talking about being that he is Eddie Van Halen's son. You know what? I don't give a shit whose son he is or whatever. To me, I don't ever think even Van Halen. I don't even think.
No.
I just hear that album, and I'm going to tell you right now, that's why I couldn't not said a lot of stuff, and we've been talking about it, I've been wanting to do this show for a while. To me, I'm telling you right now, in my lifetime, that's probably I would say it is the best debut album I've ever heard from anybody. Hands fucking down. I mean, it's if it is a number one, it's top 3.
And to all these people who keep saying rock is dead, go get that album. It ain't.
Exactly. And you know what? Stop asking him to fucking play Panama. You don't want to fucking hear it.
Ever play
those songs. Every one of those songs are better than any Van Halen song ever recorded.
You know, when I was listening to the show last night, and I've listened to the record I don't know how many times. You know, the album and in the car. Sure. You know, when it first came out, there were a lot of people that were talking about how great it was, and then there were a group of people talking about how a lot of it sounds very much the same. There's a lot, and I noticed it last night when he would change songs, like, oh, I think it's this song, like, oh no, it's that song, but the 2 songs sound a lot alike. Right. He does that little intro thing to songs sometimes, and they sound very, very similar. And I'm not bashing him for it or anything. I'm just saying that I think that, to me, I think it's a great record. There's no question about it. But there are some songs on there that they sound very, very, very similar.
I'll agree with you. I'll give you that.
Yeah. And so for me to say that's the best debut record, I don't know if it's the best debut record, but it's a really good one.
It makes me, you know what? It makes me excited, and a record hasn't done that for me for a long time. Yeah, to be honest. I mean, it's just, it's so. And I do see your point. I think it was Peter Cicero was the first person that brought that up one time on our chat.
Yeah, I don't mean in a bad way. I mean, it's a great record.
It's not, but I can see his point. But I'm not going to down it that bad just for that reason. There's other bands that have that same stuff. You know, there's. You know,
well, most bands have that. I mean, most bands have a.
But, Stone doesn't sound like these other songs. You know, Don't Look Back and Stone are 2 complete different sons. You know,
right? But there are a couple of songs.
But there are a couple songs that are fairly. You know, but it's first time out the gate. God damn!
Yeah, oh no,
yeah, it's great. You know.
Yeah, and I agree.
I'm with Bill like that. There is a couple of 3 songs that it starts out kind of the same.
I think it's more the guitar tone and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think that's what it is. But I mean, as much as I'm enjoying this and stuff, I mean, he's just starting. How long is it going to
think what is going to be next?
Well, how long is it going to be before we get a second album? Because
it took 5 years for this one. So
yeah, because he's touring with GNR and he's doing these solo gigs. So when that's over, will he continue to tour, or will he go, start rock? Maybe he's working on new
Has he written some stuff already? We don't know. Right.
Yeah. But
I'm sure he's one of those guys, whenever he's on the road though, like this, I'm sure being that he's just in a, especially tour with Guns N' Roses, they got a lot of time on their hands. They're only playing, an hour. So they got a lot of time.
Are they playing an hour? Do they get an hour?
I don't even know it. I mean, right at an hour.
They're not playing. Probably. Well, they're not playing the whole album. So
no, they're not. I bet they're getting 45.
Still,
that's what he said last night. He loves gigs like this because he gets to play everything.
Right? Yeah.
So, okay. Well, say he's playing 45 minutes. Okay, you got another. You got 23 hours and 15 minutes to fill.
To do something.
So
well, he's got a hot girlfriend, so I don't know.
That's true too. Okay, so give him another. Take 3 minutes. Take 3 minutes off that. After that.
Well, he's in his 20s, right? So he's probably going at least 6 minutes.
Oh, he's probably a Ric Flair. Give him 60 minutes.
Okay, we'll make it an hour. 23. He's got 22 hours to do whatever he wants at this point. But no, and he says, he writes most of his stuff on acoustic guitar. So, he's sitting there on the bus, bored shitless at probably at points. And he's probably go, man, listen to this tune. I know he's not lazy. He's going to be one of these guys that's going to work. And I think like I said, he's probably got tunes already, getting ready to go,
I think we'll see something from him probably sooner rather than later.
Oh, yeah. I think so too. It won't take 5 years.
Because for him to be able to do, longer shows, he's going to have more tunes in the in the repertoire, because you're only going to be able to do that so often. I mean,
he's also probably smart enough to realize it's hot right now. I need to put something else out to keep it hot.
Keep it going.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, and he wants to prove to all these fucking trolls on the internet he's not a one-trick pony.
He's not worried about that. I like the way he is managing his page.
I love it.
He's responding to people,
man.
He's
busting
funny,
people's balls,
and he's just giving it right back to him. I think it's awesome.
No, I think so too. I think
what's your favorite thing he has said, Dennis?
Oh, one about eating my entire ass. He told that one guy, says, "I want you to eat my entire ass," and I'm like, that wins the internet. I mean, that's right there. That's it.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember what the guy said. It was probably one of those Panama guys or one of those dudes.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was.
We didn't mention some people we met that were standing in front of us, which was a woman and her daughter. Brought her 15-year-old daughter. It was her first rock show. She's been to some. Yeah, cool. She's been to some Christian music festival show kind of things, but that was her first rock show. So
I seen you.
I told her mom that was good parenting.
Damn right.
I told her, I said, "You're the cool mom."
No, I was talking to a guy actually from French Lick, and he knew a friend of mine from back in the college days, and I looked over and seen you were talking to those guys, and I didn't get to hear what you were saying, but no, a lot of great people. It was you know what? It was surprising. It was an older crowd.
Yeah.
Too. I mean, it really was. There wasn't a whole lot of, you didn't see a lot of young people. There was more 30 up kind of shit going on there.
There were a few people. I mean, there was a guy standing next to me, had to be in his 20s, and his girlfriend.
Okay.
There was a guy standing next to him and a girl. The people that were in front of us when we were getting the t-shirts.
Right.
They were young.
They were
pretty young.
There was another young couple right in front of me as well.
Yeah, okay. And then the couple that was behind. I mean, Brandon and his girlfriend, wife, whatever. They can't be too terribly old, but
no, they're probably in their late
maybe
20s.
30s.
There was to my right. There were three. I'm 57. There were three ladies that had to be in their 60s, and this was their third show seeing him.
Wow.
Oh, really? Wow. Well, and the couple that. Well, the
fucking Golden Girls are following Wolfie.
But you know, the problem with that is if you're Wolfie, you are inheriting a fan base, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The problem is the fan base now is 55 plus. In the 55 is
that's true.
50 to 50 to 60 range.
But again, we've all mentioned there were younger ones there as well. So
yeah, and that's kind of. I mean, I think that will help a lot.
It was kind of a diverse. It was a diverse crowd, though. I mean, seriously, it was. It was just a lot. I don't know. To me, I was just thinking for a rock show, especially in Louisville like that, you would think there'd be a little bit more a younger crowd. But I felt kind of old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just don't know how much it was promoted. I mean, outside of
that's true.
You don't outside of him promoting it on his page and that kind of stuff. I don't know how much promotion goes on and there. I don't know what their major rock station is or any of that kind of stuff. I have no clue.
Other than Facebook and hearing it off that website and then checking Ticketmaster, I didn't hear anything around here. It's not. I mean, of course they don't promote shit around here. Period. I mean,
well, I found out they were going on sale through Live Nation.
Right.
That's when I hit you guys up. It's like, are we going?
Right. No, I
thought it was a great idea to go. I mean, I tell my little what happened to me yesterday. We went on a trip over the weekend, left on Thursday, traveled to Pittsburgh, and then left Friday morning and traveled to West Point to see Noah, and then spent the entire day on Saturday out in the sun, and it was freaking hot. So it was really, really hot. And then Sunday drove back 12 hours, worked Monday, got up yesterday morning, took my dad back to the airport at 4 a.m.
A long day for you.
Worked all day and then came home. And these lazy asses are sitting in a bar at like 1 p.m. or whatever.
We left at 1.
Oh, you left at 1. Yeah. So you were sitting in a bar by 2:30.
Yeah, but we had some pre-concert entertainment as well.
Oh, we sure did.
You did.
Thank you for the homeless.
It was a long day, but it was definitely worth it. But it didn't last as long as we thought because I was afraid he was going to have an opener. Yeah, well, she does.
Well, like I said, I was telling people today at work, I was like, thank God. I said, I was home. They couldn't believe it. Like, what time did you get home last night? I said, I was home before almost 11 o'clock. And they're like, you got to be shitting me. And I'm like, no.
Well, I crawled into bed right at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it was about 1:45. So yeah, it was about 20 till maybe because I came in. I had some leftover taco stuff that I was like, I got to eat something. I eat that real quick, and then
really, you ate something at midnight, dude? Well, it'd been 11 o'clock your time.
Yeah, well, 10:30, whatever. 11.
Well, he had a He had an egg salad sandwich on the way.
And I had an egg salad
on the way
sandwich
back
too.
home. Yeah.
At the gas station.
What?
Gas station food.
You ate? Oh, dude, that is nasty.
God,
I'm just like,
I'm glad I wasn't riding with you.
I'm rolling the dice at that point. Food poisoning. Here we go.
Well, when he came out with the sandwich, I'm like, that better not be tuna.
No, it was.
Oh no, it was worse. It's egg salad.
No, it's egg salad. No. Hey, I used to do that when I played out. I
Yeah,
love
but you're not
gas
that
station
same age, man.
That's right.
I just did it a couple years ago. Yeah.
Well, now I look at the concert last night as, okay, growing up in SoCal, all those 80s bands I saw, when they were first starting out and everything, and then they got huge. And I look at last night like it was an honor to get to see him on his first tour, because
Right.
I think we got to witness the beginning of something awesome.
That's right.
You said it. I couldn't say it better. I mean, that is.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good, and then it was such a. Even when you walk in, it's almost you're so close to the stage anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's even in the back of the room, you're closer than you're going to be at any big stadium. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't even have to. We were just standing right there in front of the soundboard, and you don't have to strain to look. Everything's just right there.
It's right there.
I love that. I
Well, the
love
crowd
that intimate
was-
settings.
The crowd was
Everybody
electric.
into it. Yeah, the crowd was just totally into it.
Yeah.
There was a dude I saw standing down. He was probably 3 or 4 people from the stage standing on that side down there. He must have known every word, because you could see Woofy looking at him.
Right.
You could see when he was looking in that direction. I'm sure he was looking at that guy, because that guy was fist pumping, and he was like, and you could tell because you could tell by the way he was moving. I bet he knew every word.
Didn't he mention
that.
He mentioned the camera. He said, "Man, you guys know all these words," or something like that.
He said
Yeah.
something about how special it is to look out and see people
Singing every word.
singing every word back. And
Thank you, that guy.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
To
it
his
was
songs. So that's amazing.
So yeah,
Very
it
cool
was a
stuff.
night for the books. It was a good.
It is.
And like I said, Bryan, thank you for
Yeah.
tickets. And then, like I said, David, it's good for you to come up there, and then Alan, Alan got to go last minute, so that was good.
That's true.
And like I said, we had some good food. And
It all worked out.
It all was good.
Another night in the book of awesome
And got
rock
home
shows.
early.
Got home early. Yeah, that's right.
Got home
There
early.
you go.
I was the
Hey,
last one to get home.
Yeah. What time did you end up
it
getting
was
home? That
11:25.
That's not too bad.
That's not too
Still,
bad.
Could have been worse.
Yes. I mean, I was home at 11. You weren't home much
Right.
further, much
Yeah.
later than me. So
But I think I was the last one to get
But
home.
he was also.
Yeah.
But he's talking about Central Time though too. So because you're on Central.
oh,
aren't you?
that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. It's 12. So yeah.
Yeah, you said you were already in bed, and we had just. Is that when we
Yeah, I
stopped?
was-
to get
That's
the
when
food?
you gave
Yeah,
him the
27
OFU.
minutes to go.
Yeah, 27 minutes. I'm sitting
Yeah.
in the back having to piss like a racehorse. I'm like, I'm gonna
Well,
I'm gonna
because you
stop. I'm like, no, just stay. And I had a big old water too.
might have been
Oh,
because you
no.
drank a tower of beer.
A tower.
Oh, you forgot the word expensive tower of beer.
Yeah,
Oh,
no
yeah.
shit.
Oh, that
13.
was one thing. Yeah.
1375. They
Oh.
just keep getting higher. God.
Well, I wanted a
Oh.
bottle. I wanted a bottle of water, and they didn't have bottles. They had cans.
Can.
Yeah. I couldn't figure out what that was.
For a
Canned
can of
water?
How much was it?
$5, and
Wow.
it was just weird. It didn't. I mean, it was water, but it didn't taste.
Wasn't
Here's
it-
your-
It was called
Here's your-
liquid something, right? Liquid
Yeah.
something. Liquid.
It's like here's your water
They
with
made
a bunch of aluminum in it.
I don't know if they did it to make it like so maybe the designated drivers didn't look like they were sweating because they made it look like it was.
Here's your non-pussified water. Sir.
Yeah. They made it look like some kind of IPA or
You know what?
Look
though?
like
That's a good
Meisterbrau.
idea. That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah. But yeah, it just I think I drank a quarter of it because it was just like I don't know.
Yeah.
Then the
Couldn't
dude
get
tried
into
to
it.
stop me with a Diet Coke. Thought I was drinking alcohol,
Yeah.
carrying it out in the street.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, you're like, it's a Diet Coke, dude.
Chill out. Yeah.
I don't drink. Give me a Diet Coke.
All right.
All right.
Good show. Good,
There we go.
Good,
All
good
right.
show last night. Loved it.
Well, let's wrap it up.
All right. Wrap it up.
All right. So,
Wrap it up.
let's see. Hey, one of you two guys take us out of here. You listen to the show all the time.
Go ahead, Brian.
No good. Dave.
All right. You guys know where to
all right,
find us.
folks. You know where to find these guys. Go to agesofrock.com. They're listen to all their episodes. You need to go back and listen to these guys. They're funny. For
Sometimes.
Bill,
For the
Dennis,
most part.
and the absent Alan.
Country Alan.
We're out of here, folks.
Peace out, people.
Peace out.
Thanks for listening to the Ages of Rock podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and most importantly, tell all your friends. Remember, you're never too old to rock. Until the next episode, peace out, folks.